Let's take a look at how to use the STR function that's available in Microsoft SQL Server. The STR function is a function that returns a number as a string. The data type it will return the string as will be a varchar. This function takes 3 inputs, however only one is required, and that will be the number that you want to have converted to a string. The other inputs are optional, and they are the length and the decimal. The length indicates the number of characters it should take into account from the number provided to operate the function against. This will include the decimal point, the sign, the digits, and any space provided. Now, the length will default to a value of 10 if nothing is provided. The decimal input signifies the number of places to the right of the decimal point to be returned. If no decimal input is provided, then it will default to a value of 0. Let us take a look at this in practice to get a better understanding as to how the function will truly work. So here we have the STR function with a value or a number provided, which is 123.476. So we're going to execute with no optional inputs to see the result that will be returned. So we're seeing where it returned a value of 123, and that's because the length will be defaulted to 10 and the decimal point will be defaulted to 0. Therefore it will not provide any decimal point in our result. Let us include the first optional input, which would be the length, and we're going to specify 4 and re-execute, and we're seeing where it's still only returned the value of 123. Again, that's because with no decimal input provided, it will default to a value of 0. Let us now include the decimal input and specify it with a value of 2. So now we're going to re-execute to see what value will be returned. Strange, we're seeing the value being returned as 123. Is this really strange though? Well, our input that we've provided for the length is 4. And what this 4 signifies is the number of characters in the number provided that it should take account of. And in this case it will be 1, 2, 3 and a point. So this function is only operating on the first 4 values provided in the number. Therefore it will only return 123. So even though we have specified a decimal value of 2, it is only looking at the first 4 values. Therefore it is not even able to evaluate any value that's placed after the decimal point. So what we want to do now is to increase the length from 4 to 7, and this would take into account all the values present in the number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, because the point is included, 5, 6, 7. So now we're going to re-execute this statement, and we're seeing it return a value of 123.48. Now it is taken into account the decimal point. However, because we specified for it to only return 2, what it has done is it first rounded the value to 2 decimal places, then converted that value to a string. If we wanted to include all the characters, we'd have to change this value from 2 to 3. And now we're going to re-execute, and now we're seeing where it returned the exact value as a string. Our key takeaways: the string input takes 3 inputs, however only 1 is required, and that will be the number that you want to have converted to a string. However, if you have a value that has a decimal point, you'll need to include the length function as well as the decimal point, the length input as well as the decimal point input, so that it can take account of all the information and provide the expected or desired return result.